Okay, little rabbits, ever got frustrated with how dark it is in the cockpits of these warbirds, particularly when it's dawn and dusk, and even with the cockpit lighting on, you can hardly see a thing? Well, it is possible to add the flashlight from the other modules to the warbirds, in fact to any module as far as I know that doesn't have it. And what's more, this should not break the integrity check, so you can use this on pure client servers. This specific piece of coding for this is not my work. It comes from a mod developed by Holton181. He originally made this as part of some modding for the Huey to add extra control functionality to the Huey helicopter. However, it is adaptable for the warbirds, so I've taken just the specific section of coding that's relevant for the flashlight, and I'm going to show you how to implement that into any module, including the warbirds. Credit to Holton181, a link to his original mod in the video description. It might be possible to install this functionality via the saved games section of DCS, but I tried that and I was unsuccessful. So I'm going to show you the method that requires editing in the core files of DCS. Go to your DCS main install. So this is not the saved games folder. This is the main part of your drive where DCS itself is installed. And you'll see these folders. There's quite a few of them in there. Look for the mod or mods folder and open that up, and then open the aircraft folder, and then you should have one folder for each of the aircraft types that you have the modules installed for. I'm going to go to the Focke-Wulf 190D9. Inside the aircraft you should have an input folder, and then there should be, well, often there is the easy and the full real version of that module, so I'm going to go into the full real version. Then there is a keyboard folder, and now we're at our final destination. This is the default.lua. I'm going to make a backup first. So I'm going to make a backup folder, and you may need admin rights for this. My game is installed under the admin section of my PC, and I'm just going to copy and paste that default.lua into this backup folder, just in case I screw something up. Okay, now we can come back here, and I'm going to edit this default Lua file with Notepad++. You can use Notepad, but I just prefer Notepad++. This is what the file looks like. It's basically a bunch of key commands and functions for DCS. What we're going to do is paste 3 lines of text. I'm going right near the top of the file, just after the 6th line where it says key commands. I'm just going to enter a couple of times and just make a space there. Then I'm going to paste this text, which you're going to see in a second. Here are the lines that I'm going to paste, and I will provide a little file with these lines. Now these are stripped down from the Huey mod from which this came from. So it's just a matter of selecting all 3 lines, or you can just do Control-A, copy. So they select all, copy. And I go back to the default.lua, and I'm just going to place the cursor at line 7, and then Control-V to paste. And that's it. So you should have a line saying this mod that's got the dashes either side of it, which comments it out. Then you should have this open squiggly bracket with a big gap, and then a whole lot of text. And over to the right, you will see the word flashlight. And that should end with some closing brackets and a comma. And then the next line after that is this mod, and it's closing it off with the slash. Then there's those extra spaces, which I don't need. I'm just going to get rid of one of those extra spaces there. So there it is. That is now pasted in to the default.lua. I'm just going to save and exit. I have spawned in here in the Dora. It is just after sunrise. You can see the sun just over there, and it is very dark in this shadowed Dora cockpit. A lot of these controls are completely invisible to me, and there are some parts of this aircraft in particular. There's a tiny little catch on top of the landing gear behind the throttle on the left. It probably won't even be visible on the YouTube video, and it requires quite precise mouse Control to get that up, and if you get that wrong and accidentally press it twice, it raises the landing gear and you plant the aeroplane on its belly. The circuit breakers will come on over here, and even then I actually have trouble just getting the mouse directly over them because it's so bloomin' dark. Okay, so the circuit breakers do bring on a little bit of lighting into the cockpit, but still it's very dark and there's very much a need for the flashlight. The mod has added the flashlight to the view cockpit section of the controls. And if you scroll down, you'll now see flashlight, and I've assigned it to the L key there. So that was not there before, but now because of those edits, that is now showing. So I'm going to now show you with the flashlight on, and you can see over in the left here, nice and bright, nice and visible. Doesn't go out onto the wing or illuminate the far distance, so it's illuminating just the cockpit, which is what you want, and everything behind that flashlight is now nicely visible. So it certainly helps a lot for doing dawn or dusk groundwork, particularly with these aircraft. So as I showed you, you can install this mod or change these lines on any of the DCS modules that don't have the flashlight, as far as I'm aware. None of this coding is my work. I have taken these lines from the Huey mod. I will provide a link to the original mod in the video description. I will also provide a link to a small document which has the 3 lines for you to copy and paste in the video description. One more thing, this takes about 3 minutes to implement per module. I don't see why Eagle Dynamics can't just give a developer 30 minutes of time to go through and add this line to all the modules. Certainly the Warbirds, there's less than 10 of them, that's half an hour work, and the other modern ones that don't have it. This seems like a lot of gain for very little effort. If ever there was low-hanging fruit, this has got to be fitting that description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.